Look around you. Don't you wonder why some men are more admired than you? They're loved by women, respected by men, and their time is never wasted. So, what makes them different? And what do they have that you don't? I'm about to tell you something that's going to make you angry. The reason they get respect isn't because they're smarter, richer, or more successful than you. It's because they understand one fundamental truth you've spent your entire life avoiding. Someone cuts in front of you in line and you say nothing. Your friends invite you to a hangout at the last minute and you jump at it. Someone takes credit for your idea and you let it slide. You know what you're really doing? You're training people to walk all over you. But here's the part that's going to shock you. The men who never deal with this, they're not avoiding it by chance. They've adopted an iron philosophy, a cold indifference to the opinions of others, an internal fortress built by the Stoics. What if I told you that being liked is actually making you weak? That every time you try to please everyone, you're giving away your power? That the harder you chase approval, the less people actually respect you? This isn't feel-good advice. This is the raw mechanics of influence that has been ruling the universe for the past 6,000 years. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some men naturally command rooms while others disappear in them. Why some men get listened to while others get ignored. And most importantly, how to become the man who never gets disrespected again. Are you ready to stop being everyone's backup plan and start being their first choice? Smash that like button and subscribe, because this isn't your daily TikTok advice. And if you're watching this from the United States, drop a comment telling us where you are from. I want to know where this wisdom is landing tonight. You see, every single person who's walked all over you, dismissed you, or treated you like you don't matter, they all have one thing in common. They knew you needed their approval more than they needed yours. Think about it. When was the last time someone truly respected a man who was desperate to be liked? Never. Because desperation has a smell, and everyone can sense it from miles away, especially women. What happens when you make being liked your priority? You become predictable. People know exactly how you'll react. They know you'll smile even when they insult you. They know you'll agree even when they're wrong. They know you'll show up even when they don't respect your time. And once you're predictable, you become disposable. The harder you try to be liked, the less people actually like you. It's backwards, I know, but think about the people you truly respect. Are they the ones constantly seeking your approval, or are they the ones who seem completely fine without it? The truth is, people are drawn to those who don't need them. We value things that are self-sustainable. When you chase approval, you're literally making yourself less valuable in everyone's eyes. Your worth is an internal choice. Another man's opinion of you is an external event. You cannot control it. When you make your self-worth dependent on an external person or event, you choose to be a slave. When people know there's a cost to crossing you, they treat you differently. Look at the people who command real respect in your life. Your toughest teacher, your strictest boss, that friend who always tells you the truth even when it hurts. What do they all have in common? They don't need your approval to feel good about themselves. They have boundaries, and they enforce them with the cold logic of a Stoic. Meanwhile, the people pleasers get walked on, overlooked, and forgotten. Because when you make yourself available to everyone, you become special to no one. Deep down, they don't respect you. They see you as weak. They might use nice words. They might smile to your face. But behind closed doors, they know you're the person they can count on to bend over backward for scraps of attention. This is the trap that keeps millions of men powerless. They think being nice and agreeable will earn them love and respect. But all it earns them is being taken for granted. Respect isn't given, it's commanded by an unbreakable sense of self. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose self-command. Now that you understand why being liked is sabotaging your life, let's talk about what really works. Respect. I'm not talking about the fake respect people give you when they're trying to be polite. I'm talking about the deep, instinctive respect that makes people think twice before they mess with you. Respect is built on one simple Stoic principle. Non-negotiable self-regard. When people know that crossing you will cost them something, not a dramatic outburst, but the loss of access to your time and presence, they don't cross you. It's that simple. But when people know they can walk all over you without any pushback, guess what happens? They walk all over you. This is where most men get it wrong. They think respect comes from being impressive, successful, or talented. But that's not respect, that's admiration. Respect comes from knowing you won't tolerate disrespect. It comes from boundaries that actually mean something. When someone disrespects you and you do nothing, you're teaching them that disrespecting you is free. You're literally training them to treat you badly. But when someone disrespects you and there's an immediate consequence, they lose access to you, they lose your help, they lose your presence, they learn real quick not to do it again. This is why the nicest people often get treated the worst. They've trained everyone around them that bad behavior has no consequences. They've made themselves safe to disrespect. And once you're safe to disrespect, respect becomes impossible. Marcus Aurelius spoke of judging his own character, not the applause of the crowd. He understood the fraud of external validation. Your value is not determined by a popularity contest. It's determined by sticking to your own principles. When you flip the script, when you make it clear that your time, attention, and energy have value, when you show people that disrespecting you comes with a cost, everything changes. Suddenly, people start watching their words around you. They start thinking before they act. They start treating you like someone who matters. The iron power of respect is that it's self-reinforcing. The more you demand it by enforcing your standards, the more you get it. The more you get it, the easier it becomes to demand it. It's an upward spiral that transforms how everyone sees you. If you're finding the courage to take back control of your life from other people's opinions, hit the subscribe button right now. We build strong men here, not popular ones. Here's something that will blow your mind. Every single interaction you have is about control. Who's in control of the conversation? Who's in control of the relationship? Who's in control of the outcome? And here's the leak. If you don't know who's in control, it's not you. Approval seekers hand over control without even realizing it. Every time you modify your behavior to get someone's approval, you're giving them control over your actions. Every time you bite your tongue to avoid conflict, you're giving them control over your voice. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, you're giving them control over your choices. But men who don't need approval, they keep control. They speak their mind regardless of how others react. They make decisions based on what they want, not what others expect. They set the terms of every interaction instead of accepting whatever terms others offer. This is why approval addiction is so dangerous. It's not just about feeling good or bad. It's about who gets to decide what happens in your life. And when you need other people's approval to feel okay about yourself, you've basically handed them the remote control to your emotions. Seneca didn't waste time on the whims of the crowd. He focused on the single audience that mattered. The one who is in a hurry to be liked will not be of good quality. He knew that quality, true, lasting value, is a slow internal build, not a fast, externally validated one. When you desperately need someone to like you, you'll do almost anything to keep them happy. You'll change your opinions, hide parts of yourself, and compromise your values. You become whatever they want you to be. That's not a relationship, that's a compromise of your character. But when you don't need their approval, when you're perfectly fine with them disliking you, if that's what it takes to stay true to yourself, now you have all the power because they can't use your need against you. This is the secret that confident men understand. They're not confident because nothing bothers them. They're confident because they don't let other people's opinions control their self-worth. They've made themselves psychologically untouchable. The moment you stop performing for others' approval, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. What happens when you break free from the approval trap? People don't know how to manipulate you anymore. Your decision-making becomes crystal clear. Your relationships improve dramatically. The bad ones die, and the real ones flourish. The shift is everything. from hoping they like you to becoming indifferent to their opinions, from bothering about what they think to focusing on what you think, from seeking their approval to making them earn yours. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My worth is self-contained. Now we get to the practical stuff. The rules that will transform you from someone who gets walked on to someone who commands respect without saying a word. These aren't just theories. These are tested principles of Stoic living that work every single time. Rule 1. Speak less, act more. Most men talk too much and do too little. They explain themselves constantly, make excuses, and over-communicate everything. This makes them look weak and desperate for understanding. Men who command respect do the opposite. They speak when they have something important to say, and they let their actions, their character, speak for them. When someone disrespects you, don't give them a speech about respect. Just remove yourself from their presence. When someone breaks a boundary, don't explain why boundaries matter. Just enforce the consequence. Rule 2. Cultivate indifference to external opinion. No matter how much you want someone to like you, never chase their approval. Don't text repeatedly. Don't explain yourself when they seem upset. Don't try to win them over when they're being cold. Chasing approval broadcasts desperation, and desperation repels respect. Epictetus put it simply: if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. Embrace the silence of being misunderstood. This indifference is magnetic. Rule 3. Stay cold and calm under attack. When someone tries to provoke you, insult you, or push your buttons, your reaction determines everything. If you get emotional, defensive, or angry, they win. They've proven they can control your emotions, which means they have power over you. But if you stay completely calm, if you respond to their attack with cold indifference or a simple, firm statement, you've just shown everyone watching that they can't touch you. You are psychologically bulletproof, and that is terrifying to people who depend on emotional manipulation. And trust me, more people do than you think. Rule 4. Enforce boundaries swiftly and silently. When someone crosses a line, the speed and clarity of your response matters more than the severity. A swift, proportional consequence teaches the lesson better than a delayed, harsh punishment, and silence often speaks louder than explanations. Don't warn people multiple times. Just implement the consequence immediately and move on. This teaches everyone around you that your boundaries are real, not suggestions. Rule 5. Treat scarcity as a virtue. When you are always available, you become background noise. When your time, attention, and energy are given selectively, they become precious resources. Be selective about where you invest your presence. This isn't about being rude. It's about treating your life force as the finite resource it is. The less available you become, the more people want your attention. The more they want your attention, the better they treat you to get it. The world is full of men desperately trying to be liked. But it's desperately short of men who command genuine respect. You've sat through this whole message. You've faced the uncomfortable truth about where you've been giving your power away. You now have the Stoic blueprint. Focus only on what is within your power, your judgment, your choices, your boundaries. Let the opinions of others blow past you like a strong, cold wind. The transformation isn't instant, but the decision must be. Epictetus believed the greatest good was to live in accordance with nature. Your highest nature, the one that is rational, self-controlled, and unshakable. This is your final choice. Be the man who begs for approval, or be the man who commands respect. I am not telling you to be cruel. I am telling you to be stoic. I am telling you to understand your worth and to refuse, point blank, to accept anything less than respect. If this video spoke the hard truth you needed to hear, smash that like button with intention and share this with one man who needs to stand taller. If you are ready to make the commitment to this path, the path of internal command and external respect, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Drop the final affirmation in the comments. I am the master of my inner city.